What's happening, all you amazing people? Welcome back to another most amazing top 10 video. I'm Landon, and today we have a special person helping out.
Special? Thanks, Landon.
Oh, it's him? Okay, maybe not. Not special. So who the heck are you?
You don't know? What? I'm Leroy from FTD News.
So if you guys want to check out his channel, I'll put a link down below.
Yeah, check it out.
So in the last video, I asked all of you, what is something you like to eat? And this is what you all said down here. Today's cover question of the day is, what is something that you're afraid of? So this right here is the top 10 scariest amusement park accidents. So starting off this crazy list in at number 10. So we're talking about Oakwood Theme Park. And I'm talking about the theme park in Pembrokeshire, Wales. So back in April, a 16-year-old girl was identified as Haley Williams. She visited a theme park where she decided to go to Europe's fastest and wettest water ride. Well, she sadly fell to her death from the top of the ride. She was airlifted to the hospital where she was pronounced dead there. So Haley was on this ride with a group of friends. There was a 10-year-old sitting in front of her who was also injured, and he was taken to the hospital with head injuries. There was a lawsuit that lasted years, but in 2008, the park was fined 250,000 British pounds. There was an investigation that revealed basic safety procedures that was widely ignored by staff overseeing the ride. The day that Haley died, 87% of all passengers were not safety checked.
Now in at the number 9 spot, we have the Discovery Cove in Orlando, Florida. This is where a 59-year-old man, Keith Clark, he went on holidays, but poor Keith ended up getting a blood infection after stubbing his toe on a piece of coral. He was rushed to the hospital, and not one but 2 of his legs were gone. All of them. All 2. Both. Sadly, Keith ended up dying from the blood infection. Now before the accident, Keith did suffer from a condition called hemophilia. It's a disorder that impairs the body's ability to control blood clotting. Now although my legs are short, I like them the way they are, so I think I'm staying away from Discovery Cove. I'm gone.
Moving on to New Jersey's Action Park. This theme park has a bad history, and they come in to number. They have been considered to have the worst reputation of any amusement park in history. There's a top 10 list of this amusement park alone in all its dangerousness. This place has a perfect storm for unsafe rides. One man died when one of the rides he was on, the car leaped off the alpine slide, causing him to smash his head into a rock. There was a huge lawsuit that followed this terrifying accident. The lawsuit was too much for the park, so the owners were forced to close it down. A few years later, it reopened up by a new company, and this new company now emphasizes on safety.
Okay, so at number 7, we have this ride at Coney Island, the Cyclone. It's located in New York. And now right off the bat, I do have to say that it's a wooden roller coaster. Enough said. The Cyclone was built back in 1927, and the ride has been linked to several injuries and deaths. One of the most recent accidents involved a 53-year-old man by the name of Keith Shirasawa. He snapped his neck because of the force of the first drop in the ride. Also back in 2008, a woman by the name of Paula Noon, she was awarded $1.5 million after suffering injuries from the ride as well. She got a severe neck injury, but here's the thing. 5 years earlier, she did have a neck injury, but she said, however, at the time of her injuries caused by the Cyclone ride, her previous injuries were completely healed, so what she's suffering now is 100% due to this ride.
So in at number 6, we have 19 riders hurt and 1 woman dead. And this happened at the Fujin Rajin 11 roller coaster. And this is at Expo Land, which is located in Suita, Osaka, Japan. This is a 6-car roller coaster in which passengers stand through the course of the ride. Well, it derailed and it hit a guardrail. This happened when a wheel of one of the axles broke. The person who lost their life was identified as 19-year-old Yoshino Kogawara, who was from Higasha Omi, Shiga. She died after her head was stuck in the guardrail. Her friend had sustained serious injuries as well. The president of the park apologized for the loss, for this was a bad tragic accident that happened on Children's Day. 31 people were taken to the hospital. There was an investigation and they found out that the ride's vehicle axles has not been replaced in 15 years. Is this real life right now? So the park was shut down for months and was reopened up. But then it was shut down again because customers wouldn't go to this amusement park. I wonder why. One accident is all it takes.
So now we're halfway through at number 5. This is the Derby Racer roller coaster. Wait, what? Another wooden roller coaster? Landon, you got me covering another one of these? You know I hate these stuff. Built back in 1911, this was one of the first ever wooden roller coasters ever created. And as you can see from the black and white photos, it looks like something created in the BC era. Shortly after the ride opened, on June 8th, 1911, a young man was catapulted from the ride and splat. 6 years later, another man was thrown off the ride. He landed in front of the ride and ended up getting run over by it. So this ride has two negatives going for it. One, it's killing people, and two, it's sexist. Men are dying only. The third fatality caused by this ride happened in 1929, and just guess what the gender of the person was. The courts in Massachusetts ruled for this ride to be completely demolished. This was in 1936. It took them that long to shut this thing down. They opened up a ride with the same name 1 year later, but then that was demolished just over 10 years after opening.
Coming in at number 4, we're talking about a place that brings in over 290 million people a year. This is one of the most popular parks ever, and I'm talking about Six Flags. They're actually known for many accidents. Six Flags in Kentucky Kingdom, back in 2007, a 13-year-old girl severed her feet on the Superman Tower ride. In 1981, at Six Flags in New Jersey, a park employee fell to his death, and this is during a ride test. 2008, in Georgia, a teenager decapitated his head while riding the Batman ride. That story made it all over Fox News. A man died when a sky bucket gondola broke from a cable and fell to the ground below. This gondola was rocking back and forth. There was a man who was thrown from the final turn of the Superman ride, and I'm talking about the Ride of Steel roller coaster. He was rushed to the hospital but lost his life from the impact. Scary moments from Six Flags just goes on and on and on. For you guys who love Six Flags, I'm sorry for scaring you.
I was actually planning to go to Six Flags next month, man, but you ruined it for me.
I'm sorry, man.
Now here is number 3. Let's take you all the way from the US to Canada.
Way up there.
Alberta to be exact. This ride is a mind bender at the Galaxyland, and the mind bender definitely lives up to its name. It's the world's largest triple loop ride. It's also described as one of the most safest rides in the world. But clearly you know that's a big lie because it made it on this list. Back in 1986, there were missing bolts on the ride that caused a 4-car train to fly off the track. The last car smashed into the support structures, which caused it to then crash into a concrete pillar. And this crash ended up in front of a huge audience that was watching a concert. Like, whoa, talk about close call. Like you're watching your favorite band perform and then a roller coaster car just lands right beside you. That could have killed more people. 3 people on the ride did end up dying, and the 4th person suffered severe neck and chest injuries.
So we are finally in at number 2, and we're talking about Big Thunder Mountain Railroad at Disneyland. So there was a couple incidents. Why don't you start us off?
Yeah, so the first one involved a 5-year-old boy. He got his foot caught between the car and the edge of the platform, and the car moved and all his toes ended up being amputated.
So this happened back in 1998, March 10th. The second accident was in 2003 when a 22-year-old man died after suffering severe blunt trauma and extensive internal bleeding in a derailment of the Disneyland Resort Big Thunder Mountain Railroad roller coaster.
10 other people were also injured. The ride went under investigation. There was never any lawsuit, but I'm sure Disney paid them a large amount of money to settle it.
So finally, we've all made it into the number 1 spot. So we're talking about a very recent accident that happened at Elton Towers.
It involved a 17-year-old girl by the name of Leah Washington. She was involved in a very serious accident on one of the rides famously known as the Smiler. But nobody was smiling after this because both of her legs were amputated.
So Leah was rushed to the hospital where she was only kept alive by life support machines. She was kept in intensive care. Along with her amputated leg, she also fractured her hand in the accident.
Now currently there's a multi-million-dollar lawsuit in progress after the Alton Towers did admit to being responsible for the crash. The crash also involved 4 other people being seriously injured.
So weeks after that, there was another crash where 16 people were seriously injured. So there you guys have it. That was the top 10 scariest amusement parks.
And I'm scarred for life, you know.
I'm sorry, man. Maybe you shouldn't have made this video.
No, I shouldn't have. So thanks a lot, guys, for watching. I'm Leroy.
And I'm Landon. You guys know that. And we'll see you guys. I'll see you guys next Friday.
I know.
I gotta do this
not
thing.
See you guys. Oh, we're vanishing.
So hopefully hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and hopefully you guys enjoy when I bring on the special guest. If you guys don't know, that was Leroy from Fresh Till Death on YouTube. Yes, YouTube. If you guys want more videos, you guys know what to do. There's videos beside me. I kind of forget which side. Is it over there? There? Two? Okay, there's two of them beside me. And of course, hit that like button if you like it, and subscribe, and share it on Facebook with Granny and Grandpa and your mom and dad and annoying little brother. Bye.